and welcome. This is going to be the part 2 of my Path of Exile episodes. So, where we left off was we just cleared out the title island. And from there, we just got our quest rewards from all these people. So, now we go to the next point, which we have to travel back to the coast for. From here, you walk to the left of Tidal Island, which you should be right across from. Normally. It can technically be different every time. And then you come to the mud flats. I have already found a rogue. Some of the new things to kill. So this is a little unique. I've never had to face one of these before. So we will see how this goes. Seems like they're not too hard. It's just that the mana situation. Oh yeah, so I got Kill the Warband members, Mute Wind, Wild Runner. So yeah, he's just running away from me now. So he is just trying to stay away. Okay, so normally when you kill the people, you get bigger rewards, like a shield, which I am not going to personally use, so I'm not even going to bother to identify. You should normally identify the golden items, just in case they're sell worthy, which normally they aren't, but sometimes you can get lucky. I'm not going to use any of these, so I'm just not going to bother identifying, or I'm going to identify this just for the time being, just so I can use this now. Because I obviously do the same thing, just this gives more energy shield, and it gives 12 to maximum strength. So I'm going to want to use that over what I have now. But you normally just want to come to the mud flats. And then you can... There is going to be a waypoint in here. Somewhere. But there's going to be a lot of things to kill, and you're going to have to kill some of them. So you can't really just run past this point very well, because you're from here, you're going to have to get little artifacts from camps to move on to the next spot. The artifacts are normally in the same spot, but I can never really tell from just the direction point of view, because the direction normally changes. And I also haven't played it in a while, so they might have changed the map, they might have changed something about it where I don't know. So I'm just gonna be running around for a little bit, just trying to kill things, just level up since I'm really close. This should level me up. Yep. So that leveled me up, so I'm gonna clear around for a little bit. Clear over here, run back to an area. Oh, I guess I missed some people. So, run back to an area I think is safe before I level up, so I don't die while I'm leveling up. Then I'm gonna go to this projectile damage node. Then just back to running around, back to doing the normal things. This is kind of a repetitive game just because you just run around killing a lot of things. I got a medium mana flask, which I'm going to replace my small life flask for at the moment, just because I'm going to be needing the mana. Also, a thing to note is I picked this up because when you get 3 different colors linked together, a red, a green, and a blue, all linked, you can sell that for a chromatic orb. And a chromatic orb, what that does, it changes the colors in your sockets. So this could turn to red, this could turn to green, this could turn to blue, this could turn to red, this could turn to red. It changes everything about it in terms of the socket colors. So you normally want to pick these up because you normally want a large amount of chromatic orbs because it just saves you from having to buy them if you really want them. Because you can buy them from other players, but that's a lot of
Storms
work.
descend on us from the north.
So I'm going to listen to this weathered carving now, so enjoy.
Black storms descend on us from the north. Unnatural tempests of rage and hatred, lashing our backs, tearing at our houses. The rain is shot with shadow. It withers our crops, sickens our livestock. And the wind carries with it a restless spirit that breeds melancholy and madness. A spirit that creeps through our dreams, weaves tales of misdeed around our resting minds. We try not to listen. We try to remember ourselves. Some of us forget. Brothers fight. Brothers die. Calm punishes those that quarrel, that steal, that murder. Yet still the nightmares goad us into malefaction. We Karui are banished from sleep.
Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that little snippet. Now, the exclamation marks are normally what you're going to go to for the straight up quest, not the optional quest. But I normally try and get these glyphs first time through. So I know that I don't have to go back and find them the second time through. Because going back to find them can take a while sometimes if you reset the area. Normally you're not going to reset the area because you're not going to be long enough to. But just in case you do, I always just find them the first time. I'm not going to use any mana there because it was not really necessary for me to kill them. This is more of a late game thing where if you can kill them without using mana, it's better because a lot of the times you aren't carrying mana pots, so you need to be a little, you need to self-sustain in mana, or you need to use mana sparingly. Again, just gonna auto attack. I also rebound the keys so I could use space as a free fire, so I don't have to be locked onto anything when I fire. Usually you're gonna have to be highlighting them so they're red to fire, otherwise the click will be your movement keys. So I find it a little simpler just to put spacebar as the movement key, or not the movement key, the free fire key, so I can just press space and fire at whatever I want instead of trying to lock on them, because it can be a little difficult to always hit them with it if you are not locked onto them. So a curious thing is this is a superior, but it also has 3 sockets. So if I sell it alone, it will, or if I sell it, it will give me a chromatic orb and not the superior items worth, unless you put it with the 40%. Then I would be curious to see what happened because I've never actually tried it. I've always sold it for the chromatic orb. Because if you hoard the percentage items like I do, then you don't really need to worry about it if you pick one up.
That would only slow me down.
Okay, so I don't really need these blue items right here. I'd rather have this superior item just for the sake of having it because it's a little better. Now I'm going to reorganize my inventory just to be a little more open so I can actually have one of these. I'm actually going to pick up the wool shoes. No reason why, I just would rather prefer to have the wool shoes. Anything good in this chest? Nope. I'm not picking either of those up because they're normal items and they don't do anything for me. Because they're the physical weapons, or the things that I don't use. They're the melee weapons. Here's another tiny little boss. I'm just gonna sit here and do this for a while. Once you kill everything around it, you can just sit here if you want to pop the potions a couple times. And voila.
That would only slow me down.
What do I have? Don't want these wrap mitts. Well, I'm gonna identify them first just to make sure. Yeah, that's not worth it. Rawhide gloves, not picking these up because they're not 3 linked to get the orb or the gem. Gonna always pick up the bow just to see, and that's not even worth having at this point. And you can also tell my life isn't regenerating. Early game you don't have any life, so you're gonna have to use potions whenever you want to restore life. Somewhat annoying, but I understand why they have it in the game. Since they're potions you can use whenever and regen them. With every kill my potions won't be as hard to use. And most of the time later in the game you do have lifesteal of some sort, so it's easier to keep without using them. Right now I'm just kind of kiting them around. Just trying to take the least amount of damage I possibly can. Just, oh, and this is going to be the first ring. Automatically equip it. The power rings will give you the maximum mana, which is really good in a lot of cases. Again, superior items are always what I prefer to pick up. Evasion rating of 19. I've got an evasion rating of 20 right now, but I'm going to want to try and pick this up just to see if it can give me anything better. Evasion rating 23. I'm actually going to do this. I don't think you can have identified weapons as quality count. I could be wrong on that, but I do not think you can. But this is another nest where I get the glyph. So it's lagging a little bit right now. You can tell because all my shots are going through, not losing any health, not losing anything. Sometimes if you don't have the best connection to the servers, hardcore can be harder than it should have to be because the connection to the servers is really poor and you could lag and die later in the game when there's a lot of monsters. So depending on your internet, it could be a little harder to play hardcore in this game if you're one of the hardcore players. But I don't play hardcore, so even when I'm lagging, this game is fun. You just can't be lagging a lot. So again, I'm going for this projectile damage node. It's going to be the last one of the set. I might come get these later, but I'm going to go to the ballistic mastery next. That is just a really good core item to have. I'm trying to think how I can rearrange this to maximize the space. So I can maybe pick up one of these. See, if you want to, you can learn how to maximize the space, so I can fit another item in here. That's just going to take a lot of thinking rather than a lot of work. If you're better at puzzles, this may come easier, may come harder. There's another medium mana flask. I'm going to put that right in and drop the small mana flask. I don't even know why I have these. Those I don't need to keep at all. I keep mana flasks as well because you can sell sell 3 of the same type mana flask and upgrade it to the next mana flask. So if I sell 3 small mana flasks, I can upgrade them to a medium mana flask. And so on and so forth. You can do that with any kind of mana flask, life flask, anything. So if you want to hoard those 2, you can. I like to, just because it seems more efficient to me. I will be doing this as soon as I find the portal. I need to make sure I have the inventory space to do it. And right now I don't. So I'm gonna go through, find the portal back, or the waypoint back, I should say, because that's what they are properly called in this game. It should be closer to the start, but I'm just gonna kill a few more things before I go back. But this game gets kind of repetitive if you aren't into it, but I really got into it very fast. Just because it seems more the type of game that you have to have patience with doesn't mean it's not a good game. You just have to learn what you like doing in the game and stick with that. A nice easy build first time through is a summoner, where you get summon raging spirits and then summon skeletons, and you'd be a mage. And you obviously just build around all the skeleton points, or the minion points, because you're gonna have skeletons and zombies, and they will follow you around. And then whenever you don't need to raise the dead, you can summon raging spirits and just spam that, and they will basically go attack whatever you need. But the waypoint should just be around here somewhere. Also with a ranger, you can have the quivers. That quiver is not the best quiver, but it's okay early game because it gives you the 29 accuracy, and accuracy is really lacking at the start of it. So I obviously missed something around here, because I should be traveling to the fetid pool, which I can't seem to find. So I must have missed it somewhere. So I'm just gonna hit tab, bring up the map. Oh, nope, it's right over here. Is there a waypoint in this area? We will see. There might not actually be a waypoint in that area. They might have changed it to the first area. Not sure why they would do that, but they might have. Those things are really annoying, just because they charge at you and sometimes stun you, sometimes make you not fire or shoot in the correct spot. So they can be a little annoying. There's going to be a lot of people in the fetid pool, and you're going to have to 100% clear it. So you're going to want to walk around, kill everything that comes up. You'll probably miss a few, and if you do, that's when you think you have everything killed. It should be done, but you can always type in /remaining into the text box. It'll bring up the amount if there's less than 20, but there will be more than 20 here. See, it says more than 20. But once you get it lower than 20, it will actually say like less than 20, or alright, not less than 20. It will show you the exact amount. Or if you're right on 20, it'll show you 20. I even checked back in this little area. There's usually nothing back in these little areas, but I don't want to have to retrace my steps just because it's the time that I'm invested into the game with you guys. I'm only making 30-minute episodes. So if I start a new character, I probably won't be exploring those, or I'll be exploring those just because it's more of a time waster if I miss something. Like that one guy that's sitting back there. I'm just waiting. Well, it'd be a lot of time and effort to just go back there and get it for you guys, to watch me just run around here. These guys are pretty easy to kill. They're not much. You take the orbs always. Normally take the scrolls. I don't really need any of these other items because they're not doing me any good. These things are just easy to kill, but just annoying because they're just a little harder to hit. But as you can tell, the ice shot is really doing work on them because it kills more than one at a time. It has a blast radius behind it that will kill the creeps or minions behind it. So that's always good. I should be coming probably up on the boss here. The boss, yep, here's the boss. He will raise things, he will summon new people. So it's kind of hard to kill him because you just kind of got to keep him away from the other people. Yeah, see, it gets really annoying. So I'm just going to pop the Quicksilver Potion just to run around, get away from him so I don't have to deal with it. And you're going to want to make sure you actually find all the things he raised because they do count as creeps still alive. Normally there's a few more creeps in this around him. This is one of the smaller creeps waves, but they're the really annoying creeps. So that could be why. And they're harder to kill. So I think one ran off in this direction. I could be wrong. Looks like I'm wrong. Looks like they all stayed there. I also want to pick up this rustic sash over what I have now because I don't want that energy shield. I would prefer to have the physical damage. Don't need the hatchet, don't need the leather cap. Normally you want to keep these. Don't really need that anymore because it's quality, but I don't think you can get anything out of the quality items past it. But I don't really need these items after you identify them, because once you identify them and they're bad, then there's really no point in keeping them. And I'm never going to use those two, and I don't think they're going to sell for a high price. I always check on, I think it's, I don't really remember the website off the top of my head because I never use it. PO's, no. I can't really remember it off the top of my head, but if you just Google the Path of Exile, or like Path of Exile, buy and sell, you'll probably find it and no problem. Sorry I can't be really more of help with that, but so after the fetid pool, I probably will clear the camp out there that I said I was gonna clear. Then I will probably be off for now because it is getting close to a 30-minute broadcast or recording, whatever you want to call it. So I probably will stop after that. Don't really need any things. They're not really improving anything or taking away anything. You always want to pick up the chromatic orbs. Like I said, this area does take a little longer than the normal starting area. Especially since if it's your first run through. I'll take the small life flask. I'm gonna upgrade right here, since I know what I'm doing and I can do it pretty fast. You're gonna wanna, there's a yellow, so that's the second hardest, or the second rarest to find. And I can have 2 rings on, so I'm also gonna pick up this iron ring, as well as the power ring I have on, and I'm gonna be using them both. Don't really need a copper sword. So there's going to be another yellow, so I just want to be a little more careful around it. Not much on the early game because they're not that scary, but once it gets into the later game, you kind of just want to be a little wary. I'm going to level up my shot there. That's always a good thing to do, level up your main. The only problem with picking up that superior gnarled branch is it's a 4-slot item. So, oh, and the fetid pool also gives you a count monster remaining. So I actually have room for that, surprisingly. 9, 18. Orb of Chance. Gonna make room for that bow just because it's 18 and this is only a 5% quality item. So the more quality is technically better just because you get more out of the item, or the quality percentage, and you don't have to, the low quality items don't give you as much, you have to combine them with more things. to get what you want. And the fetid pool is actually cleared. And do I have enough room? Yes, I do. So from there you can just go out. Hopefully I can just go clear my inventory really quick if it has a teleport somewhere in here. They might have changed it to be the previous one to have a teleport, but I can run back and then teleport out of that area. So that's going to be over here. I'm just going to run quickly with the Quicksilver Flask. That's all the Quicksilver Flask is really used for, just getting places faster. Because it's a lot easier to pop the Quicksilver Flask and move around than it is to slowly do it. I've been out of this area for quite a while now, so that it's gonna respawn with monsters. But the waypoint generally stays in the same spot. Or it always stays in the same spot, it's just the fact of finding it. And then I'm going to go organize my quality items. Quality armor. Quality armor. Not quality armor, but selling. Quality armor. Selling that. I'm just gonna sell that. I had enough room for it. It fit well. And quality armor. I don't think I missed any quality armor. So then we'll go to quality weapons. Nope, nope. Quality weapons. And another quality weapon. And then we will go back to this first page and drop off all our orbs, the chromatic orb, armor scrap, and the orb of chance. This is coming down here too. I always like to keep these in the corner just for the start of it. And then this 4, I'm going to put all my flasks in order. Small, medium, and small light flask. So I have 2 small light flasks, so I won't be able to... So, see, even though this is rare, it only gives me 8 of the alteration shards. And then this gives me 1 scroll fragment since it's not... and then once I put this in, I should get a chromatic orb right there, because it has the 3 linked colored slots. And then you'll get the recipe for it. Then I have an alteration. And then you always want to speak to the people for your rewards. They generally give you good rewards. Bear trap, puncture, dead, and poison arrow. I'm generally going to take poison arrow here. And then you'll get a Book of Regret, which is 2 passive respec points. So if you screw up on your tree and you accidentally hit select, you'll have 2 ways of getting it back. But they did not get or join the mud flats, or the mud flats doesn't have it. You can see the portal from the top right hand corner, whether it would or would not. With the poison arrow, I generally choose that because it leaves a cloud of poison, so if I'm ever just kiting anybody, I can just shoot it at my feet and they'll walk through it and get poisoned. So let's go back to this den over here. These just depend on who it is. There's going to be a ton of people that you can master. This is going to be the armor master.
I call you warrior. Your eyes have already swept your surroundings, identifying threats and escape routes. There is anticipation in your stance, deadly focus in the easy ebb and tide of your breath. Yours is a heart that fights with every beat. I have need of a heart like that. In that haunted place there, a Karui's spirit awaits you. Lost he was, more than 2 centuries ago, fallen beyond battle. Bring him to me so that I might return him to his rightful place. It takes a warrior to find a warrior.
Okay, so I just have to go in here and get him. Or get the spirit, I guess. Usually these places aren't too bad, but sometimes they can just be a little iffy. I have the energy shield, so I'm actually going to take these boots and drop the wool shoes. The wool shoes aren't good for me just because they're not part of the energy shield. Or they're not part of the dexterity, they're part of the energy shield, which is for the mage normally. Which, not saying you can't build it, it's just part, the mages normally build it, and the rangers normally build the dexterity. And these are also, these caves are generally a little annoying because they have the blue crabs, if you want to call them. These, yeah, the cave crustaceans, and they will break apart when they die to be the smaller ones. You don't have to drop these boulders. Normally there's nothing inside, but I normally do just out of curiosity to see if there's anything inside it. Da, 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 da. So these are gonna have life regen and cold damage. So you just kind of have to read and see what they have and see if you can actually just hit it like I am. Some you won't be able to just hit like I am. Some you'll have to actually cut around, even if it is early game. I'm going to take the superior padded vest right here. It's just because it is the superior version. So Ice Shot is already doing a DPS of 29.1, which is, it will get a lot better once I get better gear, once I get gear that suits what I'm playing. I know it's over there, but I'm just going to check around just to make sure there's nothing else that I should be doing before I go up here. I'll take the small life flask, and I'll take the Courier Spirit. So I'm not really sure what the Courier Spirit's doing right now. Sometimes they do things with the Courier Spirit. I'm hearing things happen, but I don't really know what is happening. Oh, okay, so here's something that's going to be happening. It's on that edge. Or no, this is what I'm going to bring it back to, sorry. I really don't know what it was doing, if it was catching up to me with something, but that wasn't really hard. Sometimes they can be a little more
A
challenging.
lost spirit returned to feast with the ancestors and be born once more into the Karui way. We shall speak again when next you come to Lion Eye's watch. For there is much that we might yet share, my ally.
Okay, so he's gonna be in Lion Eye's watch, he said. So next time I go there, I can talk to him and maybe buy some things. As you level up, they'll normally get better gear that you can buy off them for or trade with them for. Because like I said, everything in this game is a barter. So once we find the waypoint, which is right here, I'm gonna call this stream, or not a stream, recording, and we will be doing this again probably tomorrow if I have time. I'm gonna try and get these videos out daily. Same with my Smite episodes. So hopefully I'll have time tomorrow to send out another recording. But for now, this is gonna be this stream, and thank you. Leave a comment if you enjoyed. Leave comments if you have anything you want to criticize me about. I want to learn and get as good as this as I can for now. But until then, have a nice day.